Round one, fight!
What is going on, BW Sports One World? It is your boy DaLion, and we are here with Combat Zone for the first official Mondays with Malo. Brandon, Malo Lambert, what is going on, my brother?
What's going on, man?
I like Mondays even more now.
Oh, you gotta love Mondays.
Oh, yeah. It's the start of a great week, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hey, as always, BW Sports One Combat Zone sponsored by Elite Performance. Shit, I about did that. He kills me every time. When the dream of elite fitness becomes a reality, it's that easy, folks. It's that easy. 765-499-1005. And now I would like to say thank you because we, BW Sports One, here at Combat Zone, are an official affiliate of the true Turp House Clear. That's right, folks. Brandon, why don't you tell everybody what Turp House Clear is?
Well, so Turp House was born 2016. It's a medicated vape line and edible company. As I'm sure you and everybody else knows, athletes use cannabis, marijuana, and hemp for pain recovery, pain management, and recovery from training and injuries and things like that. I'm a huge advocate in it. So I started Turp House 2016 when I was diagnosed with a brain aneurysm. A lot of people don't know that I was diagnosed with a brain aneurysm and had to relearn how to walk and talk again. So I started it with that, and it evolved into, a big CBD company, as well as vapes. The CBD company is no longer existing, and I still have the vape line and the edibles. We use Delta 8 and Delta 9. We have products from both. If you do not know what Delta 8 and Delta 9 are, we can get into that a little bit later, but they are THC cannabinoids found inside. Delta 9 is found inside of marijuana, and Delta 8 is made out of hemp. So Delta 8 you can get in smoke shops, things like that, and Delta 9 you need a medical license to be able to purchase.
Well, there you go, folks. Give them that. What's the link there? What is it?
TurpHouseClear.com. And if you use code BWSPORTS1, you'll save 20% off every purchase, not just your first purchase, but every time you log into Turp House Clear, you're going to go to the checkout center. You're going to see coupon code. You're going to type in BWSPORTS1. You're going to get 20% off each and every time.
Boom! Just like that. And thank you again for joining up with us, brother.
Absolutely. I appreciate the support.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, UFC, we're going to talk about that a little bit. UFC had a fight card Saturday. I think it was 262, right?
Yep.
And we saw a nasty arm break because of very good jiu-jitsu skills. And it kind of reminded me of the Tim Sylvia Frank Mir arm break when I saw it. Yep. I fortunately missed the live part of that, so I did not get to hear the snap like everybody else did on TV. And I did watch the replay, not gonna lie. When I heard the snap, it was like, holy shit. And you saw his arm break when he bucked it.
Yeah.
But that snap, man, that was nasty.
And that's pressure too, bro. Like to break near the elbow, that's a lot of fucking pressure, bro. So that dude is legit. Munoz is legit.
Yeah, I mean, and going up against God, how do you say his name?
Jacare.
Jacare. a great jujitsu. He has great jujitsu skills. He's a master in jujitsu, and to get taken like that definitely says something about the game and the skills of the up and coming.
Well, that and it just lets you know that Father Time always wins. I mean, we've got Cerrone, we've got Tony Ferguson. You know, I think Khabib notices this, and that's why he retired. He wants to keep his legacy intact. I don't think he sees anybody that can beat him right now, but why risk it? You know, you got a legacy like that. Why risk it? Retire undefeated and have your legacy. So, you know, it was sad to see Tony get beat like he got beat. I mean,
he's a tough son of a bitch, man.
well, fuck yeah.
He had his ankle popped. You could see the anguish in his face when his ankle was in that lock. It had to have popped.
Yeah, it was the knee. The knee popped.
Okay.
So whenever you do a crank like that, it twists your knee. So it's not so much pressure on the ankle that hurts. It's tearing all those ligaments in the knee. But
true.
Everybody said that, you know, he tore his MCL or ACL or whatever. But Tony said he was fine.
I never quit.
Yeah, I mean, I would have tapped immediately.
I will say, man, like you said, Father Time, you know, doesn't wait on anybody. And like you see, I mean, the past he's 0-3 in his last 3 fights. Since going up against the title 3 fights ago. Before that, I mean, he looked like he was on point. Since then, there's just something missing. And like I said, he's a tough SOB. I'm not taking anything away from his toughness and his mindset. But like you said, Father Time waits for nobody. And I think, unfortunately, for the fans, I think Tony Ferguson, it's time to maybe think about retiring.
Yep, because he's got some students that he's teaching. So, you know, I would like to see him go into a coaching role. Same way with Donald. I mean, I just don't want to see these guys get hurt. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad that Diego didn't get in there with Donald. I think Diego's coming to bare knuckle, which I think is a horrible mistake. But if that's what the man wants to do, that's what the man's going to do.
What do you think about his training? You've seen the videos that are out there now. What the hell's going on?
Bro, fuck the video. I trained with him, bro. Like, I know Joshua. Him and Diego were at my home not a couple weeks ago. When they were down here in Florida, they were at my home. I know Joshua. I've trained with him extensively for like weeks on end and shit. I talk to him a lot. I'm starting to get pissed. Joshua has to be the center of attention. So that's never
good for a student.
Ever. And he has to be lecturing you the whole time. So it's not that he is a bad person per se, it's how he presents himself. Right. When he comes in and let's cut the bullshit, oh, that's just real. And yeah, he's just very assertive, and he's never wrong. He never second guesses himself, ever. And it just comes across as brash. He has taken control of Diego. Like, he has taken control of him and be like, all right, you're doing it this way. And he's convinced him that he knows what he's doing, and he obviously does not. So, I mean, the training.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, the training where he says he hits him, like, he does. He beats the shit out of us when we train. Like, I think the 3rd day after I trained with him, I had to take a week off because I was bruised up fucking bad. Because he does this thing where, like, you've seen the shit where he's, like, stepping on the girl on the leg and shit when he's he does that, and he does it aggressively. And he does this shit, like, he likes to hit people. So he tries to show you different maneuvers or whatever, and he fucking hits you. And you're just standing there, and he fucking rails you, dude, bruises you up. And then, you know, you take it. And then he gets you to get on camera and tell you what you've learned. And then he uses that footage to back himself up. There's a bunch of footage on there that he's got of me saying, you know, how much I enjoyed the training. And I mean, he does have some cool stuff, like the breathing techniques I really like. I actually was doing those before my fight in Knucklemania, which obviously didn't help me any.
Well,
you
that's
know,
because you dropped like 70 fucking pounds.
yeah. But you know, so I mean, the breathing techniques I like, but he does have really unorthodox methods of training, like the 100 rolls. Like we roll 100 times before we even start training, and I'm dizzy as shit, before. So, yeah, his training techniques are fucking weird, man. Like, I like him as a person, but he needs to stop doing what he's doing with Diego. Like it's to the point now to where I'm almost about to call him and be like, "Hey, bro, like this needs to stop." Like those videos that are all out, those aren't leaked videos. Those are videos that he put up thinking it makes him look good, and then he
Right.
takes them down. Like he's disabled. You can't tag him in anything anymore. He's disabled all the comments, and it's how you could think hanging your boy upside down and beating on him is a good look is beyond me.
Yeah, I mean that's just that, honestly, Diego Sanchez, and I've always respected his game. When he came out as the Nightmare, when he first came through the Ultimate Fighter, I mean he was a bad dude. And then you recall like him and Clay Guida's fight. That was an amazing fight. He's had some awesome bangers inside that cage. But since I don't know, you obviously know him better than I do because I'm just speculating. But since I'm going to say about 4 years ago, his mindset kind of shifted, and it was honestly scary watching what he was putting himself through. And now this, I'd say for his mentality, I mean for his mental health, I would be telling him to get away from the guy.
Yeah, I mean, Diego clearly has mental issues. That's why they're trying to do all this stuff with the UFC.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry. Yeah,
You're good.
he's
Let it out.
That's why I have allergies so bad out here. Like I'm still in Florida. I want to go back to Puerto Rico. I'm handling business stuff here, but I have allergies here, and it fucking kills me. But yeah, I mean, it's clear if you watch all of Diego's stuff, he has some type of mental deficiency where it's combat related. I'm not going to say it's CTE or anything like that, which probably is, but he deals with a lot of different demons. I deal with the same demons, and when you have somebody that can just take everything from you and you don't have to worry about anything anymore, it's really relieving. And because then you don't have any of that pressure, you know what I mean? But you got to make sure that person doing that knows what the fuck they're doing, and Joshua doesn't.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's apparent from the videos that he posted out that he's taken down now that that's not a way to train. I mean, for anybody, I wouldn't think so. And I'm not saying again, I'm a big ass fighter and this and the other, but there's no way in hell I'd be doing that type of training, especially with the mental issues. If I was, if I'm Diego with the mental issues.
So check this out, and I'm not trying to put her on the spot, but you could reach out to her and verify this if you like. Before Diego went to Abu Dhabi and fought Jake Matthews, I was at the Performance Institute with him at the UFCPI. We're training. And every training session, we would have other fighters looking at us wondering what the fuck we were doing. And Cynthia Calveo was there. And her whole team would stop in the middle of their practice to look over at us and see what the fuck we're doing. Because Joshua would start screaming, yelling and shit. And just because he's like 5'2", he is a small dude.
So he's got little big man syndrome.
I think so, man. I think and he's got a very boisterous voice, but he does have that bullshito fucking type of style where it's just like he can grab you and throw you on the ground and shit, but you feel obligated to act like it, So. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm sure he's done some cool shit, but I don't think he's been doing any like guerrilla warfare type shit. Like the shit he's teaching you can't do in a real combat situation with somebody that is resisting you. Mm-hmm. If that makes any sense. Because I mean,
absolutely.
Yeah, but all the shit you see Diego doing in the ring, where he looks like he's trying to wash his hair and shit, like that's the shit he has you do. Like it's the weirdest shit ever.
What is that supposed to do?
Some kind of chi or chai or whatever force field. It's like a mental force field Once, it's hard to break through your mental force field. And once they do break through that, they can't hurt your physical self. It's just the weirdest shit you've ever heard.
Yeah, that sounds very unorthodox and interesting.
It's like Jedi stuff. And like I said, I'm not trying to talk shit on a guy, even though I am.
Right.
But like
we're talking about opinions here. We're not necessarily talking shit. It's just we're looking at this as like, what the fuck's really going on?
Yeah, I mean, if you listen to his interviews, he tries to convince you of what he's saying. Like he'll ask you a question and then answer it before you get a chance. And he doesn't give you a chance to speak, because once you start speaking, you can start asking him questions, and then he's got to answer to himself. He doesn't like that. Because I've done that a couple of times. I was out in Vegas with them training at the PI. We would do shit, and he was like, we were at a hookah bar talking, and I started asking a lot of questions, and you could tell he started to get aggravated. So then he would just raise his voice and start speaking louder and more frequently. So I think that's where he got his. Just watch his interview, like the one with Swick. Like that wasn't edited. He did that for a fucking hour. Just kept talking for an hour about 40 different subjects.
Sporadic talk. We love it. Hey, really quick, getting back to the UFC card, the main event, Chandler versus Oliveira. That was a very big anticipated fight. And honestly, I had Oliveira winning because I just didn't think that Chandler could catch him. And that's the only reason I was going against Chandler, because Chandler does have that knockout power. We've all seen it before. However, he did not, to me, I was thinking it was going to go to the ground because Oliveira, I mean, he's a tactician there. But to see him lay into Chandler the way he did, and looking back, I think I seen a post from, when he started to 2017, he was like 10-8. And since 2018, the guy's 9-0. There's a reason. 29. Okay. So since then, he's 9-0, and that's saying something about somebody. You are finally the champ. You do have the belt. Oliveira did a hell of a job. What did you think of that fight?
I thought it was amazing. I thought he was going to submit Chandler. I thought Chandler was going to get his first submission loss. I thought he was going to get choked out. I didn't think he was going to tap. But I didn't see Oliveira knocking him out. But
no.
goddamn. Like
he did.
That dude is a problem. The only fight to make right now is to bring Khabib back. That's the only one. That's the money fight. Like, I would pay $200 pay-per-view to watch that fight.
But do you think he's actually going to come back and get in there?
No, I don't think he is. But that's the fight. The reason I say that is I'm not interested in any more lightweight matchups. There's nobody on that level. I love Dustin Poirier to death. We're boys. He's not beating Oliveira. McGregor definitely not beating Oliveira. There's nobody at 155 to beat.
So obviously, except for Khabib, you would have to put champion versus champion up against Oliveira.
You'd have to. He'd have to move up and down. Because, I mean, Oliveira, I don't know if you've ever collected MMA cards. Like, I used to be a big MMA collector. And Leaf made an MMA card right before Oliveira even came to the UFC. And he was the most highly sought after card. And then halfway through, I think it was like 2012, 2014-ish, something like that, he was losing, and the card dropped value. So I bought like 50 of them bitches.
Mm-hmm. You're sitting on a pretty nice investment right now.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see what's going on with that one. I think that dude I think that dude is going to hold that belt until he retires. There's literally nobody at 155 that can touch all of it. Chandler can. Give Chandler 3 or 4 more high-level UFC fights, and then Chandler's got a really good chance. I mean, he did really, really good at the end of the first round, and he did really good getting out of that. Once Oliveira had his back, I don't know if there's anybody that's gotten up from that.
Right.
And Chandler did. So I like Iron Mike, man. Chandler. A lot of people are talking shit like he didn't deserve that spot. I think he did.
I would agree with you because he has proven himself in Bellator for years now. I think he was with WEC at one time.
Yep.
I don't remember all the other ones that he was affiliated with, but I mean, just watching Chandler coming up. Personally, I don't necessarily like him because just the way his demeanor is sometimes, but I gotta respect him because he's a hell of a fighter, and that's what you guys get in the ring in the cage for to do is fight and put on a show for that. And he is one damn good fighter.
Yeah. Well, see, I was there for his rematch with Alvarez when Alvarez beat him. I think it was in Irvine, California. I remember that. The War Machine was there with Kirsty Mack. That's when a buddy of mine got knocked out. I can't remember who it was. Hold on. Was it Phil Baroni that fought in the Bellator and got knocked out again?
Yep.
I think he was in Irvine, and he just stood up and just started fucking slanging them and got knocked out. I can't remember who it was. It was somebody that I was kind of friends with at the time that was famous. Because I went to watch them, and then they got beaten. I was like, fuck. Like, all my friends always lose, so I don't really try to go support friends too much. That's why I was nervous. That's why I was nervous as hell in Biloxi when I went to watch Elvin fight, because I'm friends with both Brad and Elvin. Right. So I think that would have been a draw if I hadn't have been there. I think I cursed Brad. So that was a hell of a fight.
It's the green-haired geezer curse, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, let's kind of, we talked about the UFC. There was also a BYB, a backyard brawl in the Trigon.
Oh yeah,
and
legalized felony fight.
Yeah, you did one hell of a commentating on a fight. Before we get into that real quick, I got to pay a bill, so we'll be right back. Had to get it in. And soon we'll have one for Turf House Clear.
Yes, sir.
So kind of going back to your commentating, can you recall the name of the guy that called you out and got into the Trigon at BYB this weekend that you commentated a great 30 seconds worth of fight?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Dada 5000 needs to hire me for the next event because I will be the greatest commentator on the planet for that. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, BYB is the backyard brawl. If you guys know Kimbo Slice, he was backyard fighting, him and Jorge. Well, Dada 5000 down in Miami still. He has this. You can go on to Netflix and watch Dog Fights. DAWGZ, I think, fights, and they have a documentary about it. But it's backyard brawls, extreme. These are bare knuckle fights that they have now, and instead of a real ring, it's a 3-sided boxing ring.
It's definitely interesting.
Yeah, it's called the Trigon. So what they do is they get these people that basically have no skill, and they put them up against people that they're trying to butt. So this dude named Roger Hunnell, I don't really know the guy, right? But he's from Virginia, same small town that a lot of my family's from. And he's friends with another friend of mine that's on my management team. And this dude was online talking about he wanted to take short notice fights in the BKFC against heavyweights. Would take on any heavyweight. Wanted to fight my boy Quentin Henry at light heavy. And this dude has like one fight ever, right? And I was like, bro, you can't be tagging BKFC and David Feldman saying, hey, let me come in there short notice against a high profile fighter. That's all I was saying. I know that I called out Tyler Goodjohn, but what people don't understand is I did shit differently. I didn't, I had a strategic plan in mind doing what I did. So I just got on there and I was like, bro, you can't do this. Like, you can't. And then Bubba Marlboro was going to fight. He's like, yeah, I'll fight him. Bubba will kill you, bro. Like, you can't do this. And he started talking shit like, "Oh, you shit the bed your fight. You got beat up." Da 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 da. Well, he wasn't even on the radar with bare knuckle until his buddy, that's my friend Drew, said he was going to go to bare knuckle, and this guy's like, "Yeah, I'm going to do that too." So
Who's
this guy
that? Drew
kind of
Lipton?
no, I don't even know Drew
Okay.
very well. No, my boy Drew Toppin. He's going to be fighting for Toe the Line. He got a
Yeah.
yeah.
If you
So
would have said Andrew, I would have
Andrew,
caught it. Yep, I got
yeah,
it.
I call him Drew.
I
So
got you.
he's friend. They I guess Roger's a really good dude as far as like a human being. When Andrew was down in his luck, Roger was there for him. You know, bought him things, gave him a place to stay. So you know, as a human being, the dude's cool. I'm not talking about him as a human being. I know him. I'm talking about his social media presence and the thing that he did Saturday. He's just talking all kinds of mad shit, and I'm like, boy, like you don't. It's different, man. Like this isn't a street fight. So all you boys out there, like, oh, street fight, I get there, whip somebody's ass. You make that walk down that apron or down the walkway, and then you get in that ring, and you have them cameras in your face, and you have people screaming in your face, and you tell me how you perform. You know what I mean? Like Roger did it in like a little garage thing, so it wasn't even that big.
Right.
I did it on the biggest show there, and I was there for 3 motherfucking rounds. So I don't care what nobody says. I did all right in my debut.
Wholeheartedly agree.
You know, after dealing with what I went through. But this dude here, man, this was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. So I didn't even watch. I'm a big fan of Lando Venata. I love the way the dude fights. And I knew that Grundy was going to give him a hell of a fight. And I wanted to watch that fight. I did not watch that fight. I didn't even get to see it because I was recording this. And this dude is the epitome of hold my beer. This dude had titties dangling. He was jumping up and down.
I thought I had big boobs.
Buddy, I was getting horny.
I was mistaken.
Yeah, I was getting a chubby watching this. And I don't know if you can show it or not, but what was funny is, you know, he reminded me of like an old Irish boxer, like the shit. And he would lean way back as soon as he felt the wind from a punch. He started to go back, and he would start fighting like I did in the third round of my fight when I couldn't lean forward no more. So he's doing this, and then as soon as homeboy goes forward, he would go through a punch, and as soon as the guy would step forward, he would stop the punch and lean backwards and fall down. And every time he'd fall down, he'd get back up and fucking jump, beat on his chest, start yelling at the guy.
Yeah.
And then as soon as the guy took a step forward, he'd cower down again. It was the most insane, embarrassing shit I'd ever seen in my life.
As a fighter, do you ever want to jump up like he did and acting like an idiot? Why? I don't want to, because that uses more energy that I do not want to use for that purpose.
Yeah, I mean, and I can attest to this because I shouldn't have been showboating, and I didn't look good anyway, but I shouldn't have showboated. I shouldn't have screamed. I shouldn't have done, the finger waving, the dancing around. It expelled a lot of energy that I didn't have. And
well, especially when you made that weight cut, I mean, like that, your energy's already depleted.
Yeah, that weight cut was horrendous.
Right.
A lot of people said it's bullshit, but that weight cut was fucking horrendous. I'll never do that again. I will be fighting at 55 or 65 from now on. And
there's your boy Tony Soto coming on saying that fight was funny.
Dude, that I had to record it because I knew what was going to happen. Like, I fucking knew exactly what was going to happen on that. Like, I knew. You can look in somebody's eyes and so
the eyes tell all kinds of stories.
Oh yeah, the eyes never tell lies.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, that was the funniest shit I'd ever seen. But like, so I do want to fight at 45. Like I do want to fight at 45. I think I'd be better fitted at 55 or 65, but I leave 65 because of Elvin, and Brad, and Joe, and Caleb. There's a
pretty
couple
stacked
people.
division.
Yeah. 55, I feel comfortable in, but like I want 45 because I really want to fight John Chalbeck. Like I want to fight John Chalbeck so fucking bad I can taste it. I think John Chalbeck, I showed good against him, and then after Good John heals up from the Luis Palomino beating, then I take Good John and be good.
Really quick, John Castillo. Brandon, can you give your thoughts on BKM? Hold up, John. You're going to have to come back for Mondays at Malo next week because I think we're going to have one hell of a show next week to discuss the interview that happened last night between who was it? Was it Bare Knuckle? But it wasn't Knuckle Up. It was Bare Knuckle Most Wanted.
Knuckle's Most Wanted. Yeah.
Bare Knuckle's Most Wanted. And BKM was on there with Paul and Jules and
two of their fighters for no fucking reason at all. They just had them in the background because I think they were worried that I was going to pop up on there and they needed somebody to talk shit. But I will smack the fuck out of Zach Jusula or whatever the fuck his name is. I'm glad John brought this up. So I'm not going to go into the interview stuff because I haven't watched all of it yet. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to rebuttal a lot of shit that they're saying and a lot of shit that they didn't say. I'll give you guys the answers that you guys are asking for. But the reason I didn't watch the rest of it last night is because when I heard Zach say that he would outbox Elvin, it made me mad as fuck. So this is an official challenge to the Juice. How about Malo versus the Juice sometime in August? I'm going to show you that Puerto Rico is all about boxing, that you couldn't outbox a fucking pizza man. I'm not having anybody talk shit about my brother. So if you want some motherfucker, come and get it. Caleb will kill you, so you don't want that fight. Come get this, and you get past me. Maybe Elvin will give you a little warm up fight. But
message.
Yeah, nobody's going to disrespect Elvin Brito. So we can do it in the crowd. We can do a Robert Washington style, whatever. But don't you ever mention Elvin's name. That dude is the king of the 165. He'll fucking murder you. So you want some smoke? I got fire for you all day long, Juice, because I want to run through BKM's roster. If you're signed bare knuckle management, you can get it any weight.
Outbox a pizza man, right? That's what Loco Soto. I got Tony coming on this week too. He's going to make his debut here at Combat Zone. I can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah, dude. Tony is a good ass dude, man.
Tony's got a hell of a rear naked too, as we saw a couple weeks ago.
yeah. He gets you. He puts you down for sure. That dude can box, man. I mean, that would be a good fight for Juice. I think Tony would fuck him up. Tony can box, man. Tony got hands. I can't wait to watch him get in there. He's gonna piece some people up.
Well, like I said, we're going to definitely dissect, like being in biology class with the frog on the tray in front of you. We're really going to be able to dissect that interview from last night next week on Mondays with Malo. But I did put out a statement last night during the interview, and it had no disrespect towards anybody in there. But I think since I am a good-hearted person, and I back the O'Bannons up 150,000%, I think it would be great to have Mr. Tyler versus DaLion in a charity boxing match before the August BKFC matches start. You know why? Because I could bring a lot of people down from the Midwest to the southern states, and we could do a hell of a fundraiser for Britain's battle.
But he's got like 70 fights, bro. Like, what are you going to do with that experience? That doesn't scare you? I mean, look at his physique. You can tell he's in the gym every day.
There is only two people in this world that scare me. One is my mother. The other one is my wife. The third one will be my daughter when she gets a little bit older, okay? But there's only three of them that's going to scare me in this world.
Yeah.
Because I am not one like these young kids out there nowadays. I'm not one that's scared to take an ass whooping. I've had my ass given to me before. It happens. You deal with it. You move on. But you know what? I'm not pulling the trigger. I'm not killing somebody because that's what all these kids do nowadays is they're quick to pull the trigger instead of taking an ass whooping. Learn to take an ass whooping. But, hey, I'll gladly take an ass whooping if that means that we can raise thousands of dollars for Britain's battle.
I mean, I don't think that Paul has anything to bring to the table on it, other than just being a punching bag. I don't think anybody's going to pay to watch him do anything.
He's
But
bigger than me, isn't he?
I mean, maybe laying down. He's a fat little piece of shit, dude. And I box his fucking ears off. Like if you fought him and knocked him out, it would be hard for me not to run up in the ring and pin his face to wake him up. Like he's a fucking
I can
slime
picture
ball.
it being like Smokey and Friday running up to DJ Pooh, getting over him and be like, "You got knocked the fuck out."
I would.
But I mean, I'm talking literally. Let's anybody that would want to put this charity fight on, gladly. No disrespect. I don't know the guy like y'all do. I'm not talking shit just to talk shit. I literally want to raise money for Britain's battle and help that out.
I got a great idea.
Let's roll.
That would be a great sparring match at a tryout, just to show the guys what we're looking for and what they can expect. Why not have a manager and a podcast host come out and we do a live broadcast and put it out on a tryout? I think that would be amazing. It would be unsanctioned, obviously, but it would be regulated because we would be there. It'd be safe. It'd be in a good environment. Paul could have his fighters there, and he could show his fighters that, it's hard for me to listen to somebody that's never done what I'm doing or what I'm about to do. So, well, there we go. Okay, if he's agreed to fight Scott, not to take it out of your hands, but Scott can fight. I want somebody to put hands on Paul Tyler. If it can't be me, somebody put hands on that little greasy piece of shit because he deserves it. He needs to know what he's putting his fighters in there for. He needs to see what his fighters are experiencing. He's out there talking about, oh, I got quality guys, quality human beings that we see something in. What can you see in a 1-4 Ammy that makes you think that they're great for bare knuckle? And you noticed in the interview, he says he don't associate with bare knuckle, but that's the only place that his fighters can fight for. And right behind him was a BKM placard with a bare knuckle fighting championship flag right underneath it. So it makes them look like they're coinciding. I hate this motherfucker. So if he is part of bare knuckle fighting championships, then just say it and show us, because it's illegal. You can't work for a promotion and be a manager. You can't do it. Okay? So if Paul Tyler thinks I'm going away, the only reason I didn't get on that interview last night is I'm banned from Facebook.
Yeah.
If I wasn't banned from Facebook, I'd have been up in that bitch.
I wholeheartedly agree.
So I would love to have a debate with Paul. Paul has all the answers. He's been in the game all of his life. Somebody set up a live debate podcast with me and him and have him answer my questions. No yelling, no threats, no saying, oh, you slimy people. Let me ask him questions and have him answer them. If he can't answer them to the satisfaction of the people, not to my satisfaction, but to the satisfaction of the people, then he leaves the industry, period. If he can do that or if he can satisfy the people with his answers, I'll leave him the fuck alone. I won't say his name ever again.
So I'll put it out here. You dropped it. So let's do this. I'm putting out the invitation. So anybody get this to Paul Tyler for me. Next week, we're going to have Brandon's going to watch this interview from last night. He's going to dissect it like biology class, and we're going to come in next week and we're going to talk about that. In 2 weeks from today, which is, what is it? No, we can't do 2 weeks from today because that's Memorial. Yeah.
Well, and that's the induction of
the Hall of Fame. Yep.
Well, hold on a second.
Oh.
Because I think Paul's going to be there too. So we could have a live debate.
I mean, guys, if Paul Tyler, here's the invitation. Combat Zone, BW Sports 1, right here. Malo, Tyler, debate face-to-face, live here on the YouTube channel. And I will say, like Brandon said earlier, I'll moderate it. And just because that me and Brandon are cool doesn't mean I'm not going to stop him from talking at a certain time if I feel like it's needed. I will moderate it just like a moderator should, and let's get it. So send everybody, let Paul Tyler know that we got it going.
Yeah, and I want to have actual debate, not an argument. Like I want to have an actual conversation, because the points that I'm bringing up and the things that I'm mad at him for are actual valid points. I don't know him as a person. I think he's a shitball manager. You know what I mean? So if he can answer my questions and explain himself to the satisfaction of everybody, even if I don't understand it, if everybody else is like, okay, we get it, I'll leave him alone. But if he cannot do that, then he does not need to be a fucking manager. And he doesn't need to have people that's never managed people running a business that he started that doesn't even have a fucking license. That's another thing. He's going to have to get legalized too before I shut up. I'm tired of these fly-by-night people coming in and grabbing up fighters and thinking they can make a couple bucks and make a name off themselves, off the blood, sweat, and tears off of these guys. Like, I mean, if I didn't like Vince and Scott, I wouldn't even have a management company. I just like those guys. I think they're stand-up people. They've never lied to me. They've never done me wrong. They've given me chance after I fucked them over and fucked off and cussed at them and yelled at them and shit. They still tried to help me, and they're good people. So when I make a commitment to somebody, I stay with them. You know what I mean? There's no reason that I need a manager for right now, but they do well for me because, you know, they get me in contacts with people. They're helping me get sponsorships and things like that. So I'm very thankful that I have them in my life. So big shout out to Goat Combat Agency. But I'm not going to let people get taken advantage of. Like, this is people's dreams. Like, going back to that dude that fought at BYB, like, he says it's his dream to fight bare knuckle or whatever, which I don't believe, because I think he just started thinking about it a few months ago. But if he believes in his heart that this is what he wants to do, he needs to be guided the right way. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's a major thing in the fight world. Even in the local scene up here, it's always been that way. When you got, you know, people that's trying to guide others the way they think they should be, rather than the reality of how they should be really guided in this sport. Because I'm not gonna lie, combat world is full of snakes and bullshitters, and I'll say it to anybody. And you know, once I make the opinion on it personally, you got to change my opinion by your actions.
yeah,
I have no disarray towards Paul myself, because I don't know him like certain other people do. I'm sitting here, you know, doing my own thing up here in the Midwest, sitting up at third or fourth on the poll that Vince put out. Why, Vince? Why? I still want to know. But you know, I'm happy to be in where I'm at. You know, I don't have the problem of diving in. But I did say that I wanted all management teams to come on this show and just come for a discussion. And that means I want, you know, Britton, I want Vince and Scott, I want Paul, I want Kevin, I want Nick Sherlock. You know, anybody that's a management company, bring them all on. We'll have a full panel discussion on just the things on the management side of things. Listening last night, I will say I'm losing a little respect from what I've heard, but I'll leave it at that.
I mean, when you dance around questions, and like when you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know what to say. Okay, I mean, they're talking about,
I don't know what to do with my hands.
you know, and it's not a personal attack, but it's like if I was in there and walked up in there, like, okay, let's say Good John doesn't make it to the title fight, right? And they give it to me. Everybody is going to say he does not belong walking on that ring. He doesn't belong to be inside that ring with Luis Palomino. Because I haven't proven myself, you know what I mean? Like, I went in there and I lost. I went in there and I told you what I was going to do. I was going to be this big superstar. I go in there and I get demolished in 3 rounds. I didn't live up to my end of the bargain. So I can't get mad at people for saying that I don't deserve this or that when I haven't done anything to earn it. And what has Paul Tyler done? He's got Christine Ferre, which is the best female bare knuckle fighter right now. Why hasn't she gotten a fight yet? She's been cleared for over a month and a half. Why hasn't she gotten a fight yet? You know what I mean? They're pushing social media, so all they're doing is sharing profiles. They're sharing posts that their fighters are making, right? And then And then you got Zach Jushila or whatever his name is. He gets a main event short notice fight at the LFA against a 10-0 guy. Why would a manager take that fight? He's not going to beat that guy unless you had a backup plan to be able to guarantee. Why not get a backup fight for LFA? Hey, we're going to take this short notice main event fight, but you got to make sure my guy comes back. Paul didn't do that. He got a one-night deal just to get paid. Managers aren't doing the right things. Like when I stop fighting, which is not going to, I don't know, maybe a couple years, I'm probably going to talk with Scott and Vince about becoming a manager, because I know the things that need to happen, and these dudes aren't doing them. Half of these dudes aren't doing them. Like, you don't take a short notice fight and not have a guarantee of something else. You don't take all risks without any kind of strategic backup plan. Like, yeah, it'd have been cool if you'd. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it'd have been cool. You take a late notice fight in a main event with the chance to get into the UFC, but you have to have a contingent plan on if you don't win that fight. So, you know, you at least get a guarantee to come back to LFA, and they're going to give you that. Like, I know Mark Berry. I know Ed Soares. Like, I could have got that done.
LFA is what, Legacy Fighting Alliance?
Alliance, yeah. Like, I could have got Juice a 2 or 3 fight deal just for getting a late notice fight. You know what I mean? So the fact that Paul can't lets you know that he's a shit manager. And what managers do you know that drop their promoter's name over and over and over and over and over again? You know what I mean? Like, we get it, dude. He mentored you. You obviously didn't pay attention very much because David is super successful and you're a greasy fuck that takes advantage of fighters. So you didn't listen too much on his mentorship. And I think it's disrespectful to keep mentioning the guy that's doing successful things and telling him that he taught you how to be a fucking piece of shit, because I doubt that's the case.
Well, I think last night I noticed John Castillo was taking a shot. There was a shot game going on. I think every time that David's name was mentioned, they took a shot. So I think that they're probably just waking up hungover as hell from the bottles that they were shooting from.
Yeah. I mean, the conversation that I had with him when I first got on the scene, I mean, he probably mentioned David's name 15, 16 times and maybe a 20 or 30 text period. Like, it's just cringeworthy, and I'm just so sick of that motherfucker, dude. Like, if we can set up a debate, I have a lot of questions that I need for him to answer, and a lot of it. The
floor is open, brother. I mean, the floor is open on that. I've put out the invite. Everybody send it to him. Let's get it going.
Yeah, and he can bring on Jules and Susan and all the other. He can bring on fighters if he wants. It doesn't matter. But my questions are going to be for him. So he can bring on whoever he wants to, but the questions are going to be for you, Paul, because you're the face, you're the owner, and you're the one making all these fucking promises. You know, they said that they lost 3 Olympians that David was really interested in. Fighters don't need to have a management company to get signed to BKFC. So if David wanted those 3 Olympians, he would have signed them. Had nothing to do with Paul. And that's the type of shit I'm talking about. It's not like, oh yeah, they lost their opportunity because they're not signed with us. That's what they're presenting out, is that they are the key to BKFC, and they're not. So, like, there's just a lot of shit that they were saying in it, and I only watched the first 15 fucking minutes. After Juice said that he could beat outbox Elvin, I got fucking infuriated and stopped watching it.
And you had to go find your Turp House clear.
Yeah, I did, buddy. I was Turp House clearing it up. Shit. Took 9 hammer, was token on that for about 2 hours, making fuck you posts to Juice. So, so yeah. But, like,
well, let's oh, go ahead.
No, I was kind of wrapping that up. So yeah, go ahead. I like this.
Well, what I wanted to do was kind of talk and see what's going on with BKFC in Malo. Is there any talks of getting back in there? What's going on with that before any jump happens?
Yeah, no. So
you can say what you can. So I'm not gonna put you on the spot like that.
I mean, I'm under contract, so I don't give a fuck. You know, like, I don't have a contract with them right now.
Right.
But I'm looking to fight. I'll put it in as that I'm looking to fight in the summer.
Okay.
I'm in talks with somebody else also about fighting for the summer. Like, I have to fight. I have to get out there and fight. I have something to prove. The problem is that I think with BKFC, they're wanting to put me with a lower level guy. So, like somebody on my caliber.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're still judging me off of February. And if they put somebody in there that's on my level, I'm going to hurt them.
Well, maybe you should make it a point to show the world then.
Oh, I'm going to make it a point, but I would like to make a point against somebody
with a bigger name,
like John Chalbeck. They don't even have to be a bigger name. Just somebody like even Juice. Juice is a good fighter. Put me in there with somebody good and let me prove what I can do. I don't get excited for people that I think or know that I can beat. I was excited for Jared because I knew that he was going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I was going to be bigger than him, but I knew that he was very, very skilled. And I want to go against skilled people, man. Like, I didn't get in here to, amass a really good record. I came in here to test myself against the best in the world. And, I know that I'm not one of the best in the world or anything. I know that, but that's who I want to fight. So, and I want to fight John Chalbeck badly because I want Tyler Good. Tyler Goodjohn is my unicorn. That's the fight that I want. If I fought him, I could retire happy. So I want to fight Tyler, but the path to that is going to be getting through John Chalbeck. So why will I be better this time? So the fact
that's
that
coming from your management agency. I'm sure Vince has got that little cauldron. I think he's got that big old pot stirrer. I'll
tell you why I'll be better this time. The reason I'm going to be better this time is 150,000% because of Puerto Rico. Elvin Brito, myself, Coach Caesar, and Scott and Vince. We have a little bit of plan for a jungle camp to help bare knuckle fighters. This is Elvin's baby. It was Elvin and Caesar's dream child. It's their dream to have a gym, and we're all kind of coming together to help make that happen down in Puerto Rico and Manabo. So I've got residents down there. I actually transferred. I'm living down there. The training that we got there is second to none. I mean, the conditioning that we get, the sparring that we get, it's second to none. I'm talking to a couple other fighters right now about coming back down to train. It's just a really good reset, man. It's a great environment to train in. You have great altitudes. You have, the beach for recovery. There's just a lot of different energies out there.
My bad. It was Scott, not Vince. What's up, Scott?
And we're gonna be producing a lot of videos coming up soon because I want to fight for BKFC again. I want to fight with them in July or August. I'd like to fight in July or August as long as Elvin's on the card.
I think August in Biloxi sounds very nice because I know 100% that I'm making that trip.
Well, I think July I hear in Florida again. So I'd like to fight in Florida again.
Right.
And I've got a guy. They got a guy that they told me. He's a good fighter. Awesome guy. Great fan guy. Very experienced fighter also. So they're not giving me a guy that has no experience or anything. Mm-hmm. I think he's a debut in bare knuckle. No disrespect to him at all. If that's the guy they got to fight, that's the guy I got to fight. But I want John Chalbeck. I don't see anybody hammering or chammering for him. He hasn't fought since February. He's very, very silent. They marketed the fuck out of him. They didn't market me at all. So let me go in there and bang out with that dude, man. I proved I could take a punch. So I'm not going to fold. Greg didn't really do all that well against him. He would just cover up and wait till John stopped throwing. I trained with the best defensive fighter on the planet at 165, and we know how to fire back. So erase the 135, or erase February 5th, and let me get to 45, and let me put a mud hole in John Chalbeck and prove to everybody why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Malo versus the Florida Keys kid sounds really
fraud.
Nice.
The Florida Keys fraud. That dude is a fucking fraud. A fraud. I'll lose to him if he wants to pay me too. Like I'll take a dive, John. So get out that checkbook like you've been doing with all your other people all your fucking career, and pay me to take a dive. But it's gonna have to be some big money because you fucking suck. I don't like that dude, man. He looked me dead in my face and was nice to me at weigh-ins, and then he talked shit about me after my fight. Seeing how fucking drained I was, but you know, he obviously don't know what hard work and shit is because he's never had to cut that much weight, and he's never actually had to really train for a fight because he's fought fucking bums his whole career. So I'm coming for you, Johnny boy. Like when I see you, it's gonna be on. I'm not gonna fight you in the crowd or anything, but I'm gonna get up in your fucking face because I know that you're weak. I know that you're a bitch, and I know you're a drunk. So I'm gonna hit them kidneys really good for you. I'm gonna hit you in the liver, and I'm gonna make you piss yourself for disrespecting me. Like I don't like that dude at all.
Shots fired, brother. Let's get that on. Let's get Nate. Let's get Nate Shook in here one of these days and talk to him, and let's put some matches together.
Yeah, I mean, there's nobody in 145 right now, so I'm willing to go down to 145 and put on a banger ass fucking fight. If I don't put on a good performance, I'll retire. I'm not saying I'll retire if I don't win, but if I don't put on a good performance, I will never fight again. If I can't put on a good performance, so we need 145 to bang out. We don't have anybody in there. We don't have any excitement. Let's bring some excitement to that division. We got one guy sitting there.
Wasn't there supposed to be a tournament?
Yeah, but
was that in talks?
Yeah, it was supposed to be, but you got Tyler going up to 155 to fight Luis now, and he's not going to fight anytime soon after this fight. Like, mark my words, Tyler is going to be fucked up after this fight. So I don't know what happened with the tournament. I mean, I'd probably been more in the conversation if I would have won my debut, obviously. But I wanna be in that conversation right now. It's just, you know, like if Matt came back, that would be good for him. You got Ehlers would be all right at 50 or at 45. Tyler was talking about coming down to 45. So I think those are the main guys that were going to be in that little kind of discussion. But I mean, I think Johnny's going to come up to 45. So, I mean, Johnny would run through Chalbeck. I know I heard some clamorings that they were going to fight. I don't think that's
John and Bedford.
Yeah.
Really? That'd be a hell of a step up in competition for Chalbeck, I think.
Oh yeah, Johnny would hurt him, dude. Johnny's a fucking bad man, dude. So, yeah, I want to fight John Chalbeck. I'm just putting it out there. Like, I want to fucking. If you're looking for a fight, Johnny boy, let's get it, dude. Like, him and Tyler are the two skilled guys that I think I could demolish with just being unorthodox and unskilled.
Brother, I'm not trying to bullshit anybody. I just want to see you back in the ring.
I want to get back in there, man. I'm ready to get back in there. I have a lot to fucking prove. I have a lot to prove, and it's going to be funny to shut a lot of people up again.
I can't wait to see it. Mondays with Malo, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. Remember, next week will be the dissection of Bare Knuckle Most Wanted interview with BKM and Paul Tyler. Paul, if you are willing to come on with us next week, come on. I got some great stuff planned for this week. I got Tony coming on. I got the big Burns coming on. You know, Josh is coming on with me this week. Awesome. You know, we got the Dukes football show. If anybody's interested in football, we talk that too. Racing show, Checkers and Records on Sundays. Man, we're doing all kinds of shit nowadays. You know what I'm saying? We like getting into it. But right now, I want to thank you again for allowing us to partner up with the true Turf House Clear. In turfhouseclear.com, BWSPORTS1 is the promo code. Use it, 20% off every order, every time. Brandon, what else do you got to sign off with, brother?
Just you guys pay attention. Make sure that you guys tune into the BKFC app, BKTV app. We've got a lot of different events coming on. There's another promotion outside of BKFC that is on that app called Toe the Line. There's a lot of great fighters that are going to be coming from the BKFC tryouts. They're going to be signing with that organization. You're going to see a lot more fights going on with that. That is an awesome organization. I think the next event is in Kansas, so that's going to be awesome. Tune in June to watch Luis Palomino fuck up Tyler John.
Hey, speaking of that, real quick, you're in Miami right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me add. Okay, scenario. Hypothetically speaking, if DaLion made the trip down for the June 26th or 25th, 26th fight event, would he have a ride from the airport to the hotel?
Absolutely, bro.
I'm looking at airfare right now, brother. It looks a little enticing.
And from the hotel to the venue, bro.
Oh shit.
I got you.
I love it.
100%,
I will definitely let you know if I book that flight.
You book that flight? Yeah, I even got a couch you can sleep on.
Oh shit. Awesome. As long as I can piss and shit and shower, I'm good.
All day long.
I'll even bring Febreze because I can stink some days.
Me too. So, yeah, I get it. A lot of times I just go to the gym.
Yeah, there you go.
Do it there. Fuck it.
Brandon, thank you, sir. I love it. Mondays with Malo, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the BW Sports 1 YouTube channel because Facebook and Instagram still hate us, so we must be doing something right. Brandon, again, thank you. We will see you next week, and until then, I can't wait to hear the dissection throughout this week of what we're going to discuss next. Again, anybody, Paul Tyler, the invitation's open. Come on with us next week, and let's talk.
He won't. He's a bitch, but if he does, it'd be sweet. I promise not to call him names, and I want to do it as a I have real questions. I'm not looking to be an asshole or be a dickhead to him. I have real questions.
If he's open and willing to come on, I promise, like I said earlier, I'll play moderator and be 50-50 right down the line with everybody. So let somebody out there let Paul Tyler know he's been invited to Combat Zone Mondays with Malo next week, 9 a.m. We'll see you guys then. And until then, remember, knuckle it up and beat the dog shit out of whoever's in front of you. Brandon, thanks again. We will see you next week. See you guys later. Peace.